guys, Kimmie here. Welcome to day 1 of 31 days in the attic. Today we're talking fall eyeshadow palettes and why I did not buy Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl. And I'm not buying it. For real. I'm not. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kimmie. This is my attic, and this is day 1 of 31 days in the attic. My version of Vlogtober. I think it's called Vlogtober, right? When you post a video every day for that month. Well, I don't vlog, but I do shoot videos in the attic. So hence 31 days in the attic. So for the next 31 days, I will be posting a video every day, and they're going to have the best I can fall/Halloween themes. I love this time of year. I've said it before, it's my favorite time of year. October is officially here. It is jack-o'-lantern sweatshirt season. Excuse me, sweatshirt dress season. Yes, believe it or not, this thing I'm wearing is a dress. Anyway, so for the next 31 days, I'm going to be posting a video every day with a Halloween or a fall theme, or both. And I'm going to do the best I can. I think some days it may be a little bit of a stretch, but I think we'll do pretty good as far as if the videos are Halloween or fall-y themed. Today we're talking eyeshadow palettes, and I am going to have a lot of makeup, but we're also going to talk about some other stuff because, like I said, we talk about all in the attic. But for today, fall palettes. But first of all, I feel like I do want to mention the Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl because Too Faced is known for their iconic holiday palettes, and they well, let me explain. I remember watching YouTube videos, I think I said it in my last one, and I would be totally lost. I always appreciate when somebody would like take a step back and say, let me explain. So if you don't know, for those of you that don't know, Too Faced kind of always gets the holiday makeup going. They're like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade of the holiday palettes. They release one around September. It always has like a fall theme, a seasonal theme, and that kind of gets the makeup season kicked off for the holiday season. Now, Too Faced itself, as far as eyeshadow is concerned, is always a hit or miss formula for me. But that palette that they release is usually a tin palette. And I feel personally that their eyeshadow tin palettes are significantly better than the other palettes that they release, like the peach palette, the chocolate bars palette. So a few years ago, when I first got into makeup, the Too Faced Extra Spicy was the holiday palette. I missed the spicy, wasn't into makeup back then. It was the Too Faced Extra Spicy. And I remember being in Macy's with my mom, and we saw the palette. It was displayed, like you know, most department stores have them out. And my mom was like, that is so cute. You should get that. And I really didn't want it. I don't know why I didn't want it. I just didn't want it. My mom was like, I'm going to get that for you for Christmas. Because at the time, I was just getting into makeup. My mom knew my mom doesn't like eyeshadow at all, but she knew I was getting into makeup, and she's like, even for someone who's not into makeup, it's just cute. But I didn't get it, and I had regret, and it was limited edition. So I said to myself, next year, when the Too Faced palette comes out, I'm going to get the palette. And the following year, which was last year, it was this one. It was Pumpkin Spice. And this palette is so great. I love this palette. From the very second I saw this released, I didn't even have to see the inside. Now, you guys know I'm a sucker for packaging. If I like the packaging, I'm gonna buy it. And this one, it's orange. It says pumpkin. It's for the fall. I didn't care what the inside looked like. But bonus, the inside looks like this. This, to me, my personal opinion, is the best palette Too Faced has ever done. That's a bold statement. I'm sure not everybody agrees with it. It's my opinion. But I went out and I bought this the very first day it was released, and I was so excited to get it. It smells like pumpkin, or what we as humans perceive that pumpkin smells like. What the hell does a pumpkin smell like? But we think it smells like Bath and Body Works. So that's kind of what this smells like, and it's just such a great like array of shades and the way they're named and everything about it. I like a theme. I like shade names. I like all of it. I like the whole package. So after I got this one, I decided in my home, it would always be a tradition. The Too Faced palette would be a tradition in my home, a holiday tradition. So, of course, I was excited this year. I was all ready to get the palette, and to my dismay, they released the Cinnamon Swirl. Now, let me tell you why I was so disappointed. To me, it's not seasonal. It's just not, okay? If they had made it more of a seasonal vibe, I mean, I get like cinnamon rolls. First of all, I was 99% sure it was going to be pumpkin extra spicy. I was 99% sure that's what we were going to see. So I was automatically let down. And it's not that I have anything against cinnamon rolls. On the contrary, I like them a lot. But I don't see what it has to do with the fall too much. I mean, I know like the cinnamon spice, whatever. I get that part. And they could have ran with that, but they didn't. They didn't. There's nothing seasonal about the packaging. There's just not. There's nothing seasonal about the names. I think one of the, I don't own the palette. I have no desire to buy it. I think one of the names is Fall Food Court. Because, you know, you would get like a cinnamon roll in the food court. But, I mean, they might as well just call one of the shades Rest Stop on the I-95. It's the same thing. It's just not, to me, it's not fallish. It's not seasonal. And since I wasn't attracted to the packaging, it forced me to look inside the palette. Now, for a very long time, I've been listening to YouTubers that I like tell me that Too Faced basically just repackages stuff and that's it. It's nothing really new. Now, I could care less. To be honest with you, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I could care less. When I look at the inside of this palette, yes, I definitely see a lot of similarities with this palette and palettes of the past. But to be honest with you, I've never been sold on a Too Faced color story. I don't think I have ever purchased a Too Faced palette because I was in love with the color story. It's always the packaging that I'm in love with. And so, because I am so not in love with this new packaging, I feel no need to buy it. I feel no urge to buy it. I've seen so many of my favorite YouTubers with it try it. It looks fine. But I have no, it's like the furthest thing off my radar, so I am not picking it up. Now, as we get closer to the holidays, Too Faced, I'm sure, will be releasing lots more makeup. And usually it goes downhill for Too Faced after their first palette. First palette's usually really good. If history has taught us anything, the closer we get to the holidays, we'll start to see animals in jewelry. There's usually a goose in like pearls or something like that. Packaging's adorable and the formula is just shitty. Excuse my language. It's never good. And so unless it's something that's really mind-blowing, I probably will not have any interest in purchasing anything from Too Faced the holiday season. I've bought it before. Like, I've gotten caught up in the really cute packaging. I think it was like 2 years ago. And the makeup was horrible. Horrible. And I'm not saying that Too Faced ever has the best formula, but they certainly don't have the worst. But those were terrible. It was holiday palettes, but it wasn't the tin holiday palette. It was like those animals, like I'm just saying, with the whatever, the cute animals that are dressed up. Horrible palettes. Horrible. I do not have them anymore. So I cannot show you. This one is obviously discontinued. They replaced it with the cinnamon roll palette. So, but if I could put this on my top fall palette, I would, because I still use this one. I think this one is so amazing, and hopefully they'll re-release it eventually, maybe next year, or they'll do something like it. I mean, honestly, it doesn't take much to please me. It really doesn't. I feel like if they had even tried with the packaging, I would have bought it. If they had just put a leaf on it, called it the falling leaves, I'd own it right now. But nah, not for me. There's a helicopter flying over the house. So I've chosen a couple of palettes to show you for the fall, what I think are nice for the fall. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, the two palettes that are my favorite palettes for the fall are no longer available. I'll show them to you quick but since they're no longer available, you know, it doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, here we go. Here are my 10 picks, palette-wise, my 10 eyeshadow palette picks for the fall 2021. Okay, guys, so like I was saying, my favorite fall palettes are discontinued. There's the pumpkin one that I just showed you from Too Faced. This one's from Morphe. It's called Fall into Frost. I know a lot of people don't like Morphe. Like I've said before, it's not the best formula, but it's certainly not the worst. I picked this up last year for like 10 bucks. It was on sale. They have since discontinued it. They've replaced it with another fall one. It's called Fall Into Something. I don't remember. But yeah, they don't make that anymore. And then this one, this was Autumn's Rain by Sydney Grace. This one was so pretty. This one was like really, really beautiful. Sydney Grace makes really beautiful eyeshadow formulas. I just received those 3 palettes in the mail, those three like celestial palettes, so I do have to try them out. But this one was really, really nice, and unfortunately, it's been discontinued, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So I do have my top 10 favorite palettes for the fall that I'm going to show you, and all of these palettes are still available. Now, this is in no particular order because it's not like my least favorite to my first favorite. They're all kind of different, so it kind of depends on what you're into. Now, obviously, you can wear whatever palette you want all year. 3 years ago, or yeah, 2 years ago, whatever, I would have thought it was insane to switch out makeup for the season. I would have. Of course, I really didn't wear makeup, and I think I owned 2 quads, 2 drugstore quads, eyeshadow-wise. I had a brown and a mauve. So, obviously, I was someone that would have thought it was crazy. You can wear your makeup whenever you want. But when we think fall, yeah, you kind of tend to think more like orangey brown tones, you know, that kind of thing. Fall colors. So I have some like palettes that I feel are like fall colors, basically, depending on what you like. So my first one that I have is by Colourpop. This is Lil Ray of Sunshine. Now, I felt that this was one of the best Colourpop matte formulas. This was one of the better palettes that Colourpop has done with their matte formulas. I'm not saying that I don't normally like Colourpop's formula. I think their formula is usually pretty steady, but I just thought that this matte formula, this palette is all mattes, by the way. I thought that this matte formula was really, really nice. And it just, like, to me, these are like really nice fall colors. Neutral, this palette is very easy, everyday kind of palette. It's cute. It's still available. This was, I believe, the first all matte palette that Colourpop ever did. And I think it's really nice. I think that like the yellows in here, they're like subdued. They're more like golds. I think this palette is really pretty. So that's number 1. Now number 2, we'll go more with the orange theme now. I just spoke about this palette in my BH Cosmetics palette countdown. This one's really cute. This is really nice. This is Optimistic AF. Good way to be. It's more bright. That's the thing. This is more if you like these brighter colors, but I mean these oranges up here, you have these like brown tones. These kind of scream fall. This whole thing kind of screams fall. I mean, even if you don't want to go all that bright, like you could just like cover up these shades and like these like 5 shades, 6 shades, whatever. I mean, this is just to me a really, really fall palette. So you could go that way. This is a great formula. BH Cosmetics has a really, really nice eyeshadow formula. I don't think this is their best formula, but it's nice. It's really nice. Now, if you want to stay with like the oranges or like the browns, but go a little bit not as bright, not really orange, more like a rusty, then this one is by Tart. Now, I think Tart is a little bit of an underrated brand. I like Tart. I do. This one is Little Toasted. So this is actually from their holiday collection last year. They did 3 palettes, and it was this one, it was in Bloom, it was the Tart in Bloom, and it was the Juicy. But at that time, Juicy wasn't a palette. So that was like the first time we ever saw it. So they had those 3 palettes for $50, but they weren't the actual palettes. They were like these little mini palettes, but they're still a really nice size. I thought that was a really decent holiday collection. I got that last year. I think a lot of the holiday collections are like kind of, but not by Tart, by everybody. I'm not in love with a lot of holiday collections. A lot of times I don't think they're worth the money. But this one, that one by Tart I thought was really good, so I did pick it up. And that's what this is. So whether you have this one or you have the original one, which is bigger, I think this is a definite solid choice for the fall. And keeping up with these kind of color vibes. Yes, another brand I really like. I like the Naked palettes. I don't care what anyone says. I see a lot of decluttering going on with these palettes, but this is the Naked Heat. I really don't think you can go wrong. I like the formula. I like the formula of all the Naked palettes, the ones that I have. I don't have them all. I don't have the cherry. It might be easier to tell you. I have Reloaded. Is it Reloaded? Is that the one with like the plush? I have 3. I know that. I have the one that's like cool tones with like the plush cover. I can't remember which one that is. I have Heat and I have Honey. And I have the violet one. And I like all of them. I think they're all really nice. So yeah, so this is the same. Very, very similar to the Tarte Toasted. Very similar in tones. You have like the orangey, more rusty brown tones. I never used this brush. It's still in the plastic. But I like this palette. I never had any issue with the Urban Decay formula. I have had eyeshadow palettes from Urban Decay that weren't from the Naked series that I didn't care for as much, but I always am happy with the Naked palettes, so I don't know. I like them. Yeah, I think this is a nice choice for the fall. Also, okay, so now we'll go a little bit away from the orange tones. We'll get kind of, well actually this one, this is by e.l.f. This is Opposites Attract. And this one, you can kind of go either way. Now, I have a few e.l.f. palettes that I really, really like. And when I was choosing one for this video, it was between this and Earth and Ocean. I think Earth and Ocean is a beautiful e.l.f. palette. I really like e.l.f.'s formula. I think for e.l.f. does, for the price point they charge, is amazing. I'm a big e.l.f. fan. I'll definitely be talking more about e.l.f. on this channel. But for now, I decided to go with this one. Like I said, this is the Opposites Attract palette. You get warm tones on this side and cool tones on this side. And the reason I thought this was such a great palette for now is because like I said, like on this side you have like these fall kind of vibes. But then on this side you have like a purple, a green. You can maybe do like some Halloween-y looks in here. You see a lot of like Halloween palettes with like this kind of color story. But then you also have like the fall vibes over here. And I think the formula is nice. So that's why I picked this one for fall palettes. The next one, of course, I couldn't help myself because it's my favorite brand, Sigma. This is Sigma Untamed. Yes, I did pick the Cinderella one up. Like, you even had to ask. Are you kidding me? I couldn't wait. And I was actually not even home. I was in Jersey. And I like had like a reminder on my phone that I had to wake up and purchase it. So, yeah, that was, what was it, Friday morning? It was Thursday morning. It's either Thursday or Friday morning. I don't know. Whatever day it came out, I ordered it. So when it comes, I'll definitely have a try on. I'm so excited. I love Sigma. I love Disney. It's like the perfect collaboration for me. Anyway, this is the Untamed palette. This is a perfect fall palette. You know my motto, you cannot go wrong with Sigma. If you're ever not sure what palette to get, Sigma is always a safe bet. And I mean, you have the greens, you have like these neutral colors, you can take it like mauve-y, purple, purplish. You got really really neutral colors on this side. You have a black. I mean, this is just, you have this really beautiful blue. This is just a great palette. This is a great palette all year round, really. But I think this is a really nice one for the fall. And the packaging is, it's so good. It kind of reminds me of the Ambiance packaging, but it's like felt. Like, it's just really nice. Really nice. Okay. Then next up we have Goddess. This is a brand that kind of always gets mixed reviews, I feel like, on YouTube. This is by Alter Ego. So basically what Alter Ego does is they do palettes. And oh my god, a shade just popped out. That's never happened. Okay. This is live TV. No, it's not. I can fix this. Okay. So I'm going to be a little careful because this shade just popped out, but it did not break. So basically what Goddess does, what Alter Ego does is they do palettes. I don't know how they do it, meaning I don't know how they get away with it exactly, because when I say dupe palettes, I don't mean like they use the same color story. I mean they freaking dupe the palette. They've done it with ABH. They have a dupe of the Sultry palette, which is really nice. They've duped Pat McGrath. I don't have any of those, but they basically duped Natasha Denona. This is the gold palette. They have duped the bronze palette. They've duped the Love palette. They have duped the Glam palette. I have the bronze dupe. That's the Canyon, and I think that's really good. The Love palette, I'm not a big Natasha Denona fan, but I will say I didn't think they did a good job with the Love palette when they duped it. I thought Natasha's was significantly better. But this one, this is a dupe of the Gold palette. I believe Natasha is discontinuing the Gold palette. But the reason I have my hand here is this is the shade that went flying out. So anyway, this I think is really, really nice palette for the fall. The formula on this is beautiful. It's not as smooth as Natasha's, but it's very, very close. And for a fraction of the price, what are these palettes? They're either 16 or 24. I can't remember. But they're, I mean, Natasha's is what, 65? I don't know. Was the gold one the 65 or is it higher than that? She has like ones that are like 125 and then she has ones that are 65. But I don't own the gold palette, so I don't know what it was. But yeah, so this is that. This is what Goddess looks like. The formula is wonderful. I think this is a great palette for the fall. Alter Ego usually has a sale. Usually they give you a deal if you buy more than one palette. So there's that. Okay. Next up, another palette that I had on my BH Cosmetics video, and I decided to include it. This is Smitten in Switzerland. This is a really, really nice one. It's very toned down. If you like these toned down kind of colors like I do. I mean, to me, this like whole row, this row kind of screams fall. I don't know to you, but definitely to me. And then you have the very neutral row. You have like the greens. It's a little bit, it's not as like rusty or orangey or fall-y as some of the other ones, but I think it's definitely works for fall. The next one, Juvia's Place. I'm actually wearing this one. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is the Nomad. This one is beautiful, but I do have to say it has a pressed glitter. I was shocked. Not a pressed glitter, a matte glitter. I've never seen one in a Juvia's Place palette, but it's this one right here. I don't think they have shade names, but it's this one right here. So I'm not crazy about that, but the rest of it is gorgeous. And even the matte glitter is not bad. It's not as apparent as Colourpop's. I think ABH and Juvia's Place, their matte glitters are not as apparent as Colourpop's, but it's definitely a matte glitter. The shade in the middle, the standout shade here, that was this one in the middle. It's so pretty. I know I haven't been swatching, but, and can you see it? Still not great at swatching, but it's really, really nice. I think this palette is really pretty. And like you get the golds, you get the orange, you get the green. This palette is only 2 shimmers. It's 7 mattes. So if you do like mattes, this might be a good one for you. Juvia's Place, very reasonably priced, beautiful formula, highly recommend. But my number one pick, well, I just said it's not in any kind of order, but I will tell you, out of all of these palettes, I think this is my favorite one, only because I just love this palette. Now, Melt Cosmetics is a brand that is always hit or miss for me. First of all, has anybody else ever tried to buy something and you didn't know the password, like when they're launching? I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Like when they were launching Beetlejuice, I wasn't even interested in the Beetlejuice palettes. I was trying to get something else and I couldn't even get on the website because I didn't know the password was draw a door. Come on, Melt. Come on. Just come on. All right, anyway. This is the Gemini palette, and I think this palette is beautiful. Like I said, Melt is a hit or miss for me. I have the only other one I have is the Mary Jane, and I think it sucks. I ain't even gonna lie. I think it's terrible. But this one I think is so good. This one is so good. And this is such a great fall palette. You have your neutrals. You have like your greens. If you like, you have like your mustard kind of yellow tone. If you like green, I think this is a great palette for the fall. So there you go. You have palettes if you like green. You have palettes if you like rusty, orangey, bright. It's all, I got you covered. So those are my 10 picks for the fall. What kind of palettes do you like for the fall? Or do you even switch your palettes or not? What are your favorite, what's your favorite kind of makeup to wear for this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for day 1 of 31 Days in the Attic. I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye, guys.